Good afternoon, everyone. China massive buying spree as floods wipe away their crops. Soy this month, corn last month, record purchases. 7 pillars of urban preparedness. And how's your life going to be in a cashless society? Because with 84% of chief financial officers saying markets are overvalued, when this crash comes, it'll be part of the reset. News just released states that several VPNs that didn't have a no-log policy revealed the browsing activity and personal information of over 20 million users. Those that care about privacy need a VPN with a strict no-log policy to prevent this. You can head over to virtualshield.com, and in the download tab, I'm going to choose Firefox. And click Install Now to add the Virtual Shield add-on. It's just that easy. And get started with your free 30-day trial. Install it, click Connect. You'll see the shield turn from red to green. And you'll see how from my initial service provider, I was able to even change my IP. Virtual Shield Network protected. Due to the recent pandemic, Virtual Shield is offering its services for 50% off to help customers in need to protect themselves as they work from home. The link's in the description box below. And just as with every grand solar minimum, we start to see the same three things. Never-ending food price rises because of lack of food production, the growing seasons are shrunk, population migration, and economic reset. This happens every 400 years approximately in these cycles of low solar activity, and this reset will be no different. It needs to evolve to something else, the cashless society. And you're hearing this and seeing it across the news media in almost every country. Governments planning for tokens or a coin of their own issuance. But how would that affect you in every day-to-day life? They're going to change your mind like they have so far in the way you're able to move freely or not around the planet. They're going to shift it into economy. In my opinion, at the end of the year into 2021, you're not going to be able to deposit cash. Coin shortage already is a very small fraction of what to expect. You can't get the coins, you can't find the coins, you can't deposit the coins. And you won't be able to accept the cash for an exchange of goods or services. Coins are the beginning, the paper will follow, you'll be put into a digital wallet. Taking it to a greater scale of a cashless society, think about how now everything can be taxed. Gifts, any gift that you ever gave. Okay, $20 to a child's birthday is something very different from a graduation or a marriage where thousands, tens of thousands of dollars come in. Won't be able to do that with cash anymore. It'll all be tracked and traced. Side gigs, if you're going to work outside your regular job. Selling secondhand goods, any of you with garage sales, even if it's your own personal stuff and you want to resell it after you paid tax on it the first time to sell it, you're going to have to pay tax again when you resell it. How about tips? A lot of tips cash, under the table, the person who helped you do something. How are you going to do that with a digital? They're going to get taxed as well. Children's allowances. They want tax on that. If you can believe it or not, the $10 a week or whatever you would give to your child, $20, $50. Some of us used to mow yards, do other odd jobs, rake leaves, whatever. We get money at the end of the month. You'd help clean the house. There's a million things kids do. That'll be taxed and traced. How about the underbanked or unbanked? We're talking about a good 60% of the world coming in now taxable. And if you think that is impossible, that'll never ever happen, I would say look back 6 months, the way they've gotten you to change your behavior globally, and you think it would be more difficult to get you to change the economic spending in the way that you perceive money? They've got you to bend reality already around the entire planet on the way you move, breathe, or interact with people. It's just another step. And also with the Agenda 2030 plans to squeeze you into smart cities and smaller houses, lo and behold, the rise of the backyard office shed. Now, I understand that this is a true motivation for people to get out of the house. Everybody's working from home, but at the same time, you know, it fits that agenda of getting you to live in smaller spaces. A single person living in a few hundred square feet, everything monitored, tracked, you still have your internet, whatever. These prefab backyard office sheds, amazing by the way. A bit pricey, between $10,000 and $24,000. I went to the site. You can custom make your own smart city habitation, I guess, in the future. It is a blueprint for what to expect. And notice how everything has gotten tiny. The tiny house shows that you see on TV, tiny house, backyard office sheds, it's all part of the new reality. And it fits right into universal basic income, smaller habitation, everything tracked, cashless society. The timeline seems to fit everything as well. So with that said, these 7 pillars of urban preparedness: water, shelter, fire, food, communication, hygiene, and personal safety. And then I would put a number 8 there: finance, wealth, protection. And you see how the shelter got covered in the office sheds there. Moving over to food, the soy boom, U.S. sales to China, the fastest pace since 2013. That's a light blue line screaming above everything else. And as soon as it eclipses the red for another week, it'll be all-time record sales of soy to China. The massive floods going on there have wiped out pretty much all production of crops this year. What they do get will be dismal because it's been so wet on top. So even if the fields weren't flooded, they're having an enormous problem with fungus on the grain crops at the moment. Plus all their stored grains have been wiped away in the massive floods. So just a month prior, July 30th, third largest deal in grain purchases ever, China. It was corn this time. So what are the statistical possibilities of highest soybean purchases ever and the highest corn purchases almost ever, occurring within a single month as these biggest floods in 200 years or 400 years rip through China? Now, preserving wealth is all about timing here. This is my personal opinion, not investment advice. It's common sense, basically. When you have 84% of the chief financial officers of all the biggest companies on the planet saying, whoa, we are incredibly overvalued, and the unemployment hitting, businesses not recovering, how much higher can it go before we actually have a crash or a purposeful reset? See, that's the thing this whole video is about, is the reset's coming in cash, the way they reset your mind for your ability to move or interact with people, and actually the way you breathe. They've reset the way you breathe. That is insane. The most important thing in your entire biology and physiology: air. Food, you can go 3 weeks. Water, you can go 3 days. Air, minutes. They've gotten you to rethink the way you breathe. So with cash and moving to a new currency system will be quite easy. The most important thing on everybody's literal physical lives was rearranged. So coins in your pocket. Oh wait, there's no more coins. I mean, cash in your pocket. That should be quite easy because these grand solar minimum changes are real. Now the Earth's crust is starting to equalize its charge. The overcharge is trying to reach back out into the upper atmosphere, connect back to the sun, and release that energy. So we have this ground to sky lightning becoming more frequent now, called the tree of light. It's becoming so common they actually have a new term for it. See, that's normalizing something that was considered rare a few years back. So the Earth changes that we're experiencing in this grand solar minimum need to be normalized, like everything else that we've seen through the media narratives over the last few years, to normalize abnormal events. This has been Grand Solar Minimum approved media, climate, and economy. Join me over on Patreon/Adapt2030 to cover more events based on the Grand Solar Minimum that are now affecting your lives. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I will see you next time.